Hello, everyone. This is Hayes Winter Fields III.
Hazen Fields II.
I'm Lex.
And this is a What to Do Part 2 of various fields regarding all the characters we were talking about last week. We realized we didn't give any proper respects to Robert Downey Jr. in the last one, so we want to at least talk more about the Doctor Doom situation as he was revealed to us. I mean, there was a lot of things revealed, and honestly, I'm really excited for this idea for Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Right. Apparently, there's a live action.
Wait a minute. Can I jump in real quick? I'm sorry. I don't mean to jump in. I mean, our filmographer, the person is his friend, our friend Nels. Let's make some noise for Nels. Can we give him a cinematographer?
Cinematographer Nels.
Cinematographer Nels. Can you please, because he had something he wanted to say, and we completely left that out. So please, what were you going to say in the last episode that we missed out on?
Oh, no. I was just bringing up the Nick at Night. We used to watch Batman on Nick at Night. Late night on Friday. I think it was Fridays.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it came out on then as well.
You remember the exact time. That's great.
No,
I actually remember actually falling asleep with Dad. I had to been maybe 6 or 7. I think I remember seeing most of these when we were still in the Yellow House.
Yeah, in the little Yellow House.
Yeah,
Well, listen, anyway, but thank you, Nels, for those who grew up with Adam West in 1960s Batman.
Actually, say in the
it's
comments.
now being looked at nostalgically on Nick at Night.
Well, I mean,
anyway,
give us
Batman.
Check us in the comments to see if it was on Nick at Night. 'Cause I think it was either Nick at Night or maybe it could have been another thing. But let us know in the comments where you would have watched, because it probably aired on different.
Yeah. It was in
where you would have watched Adams West, Batman, when
TV Land,
WWR,
in the comments,
PIX.
give me your favorite quote from the Adam West Batman movie.
Oh, very
My
good.
favorite one is whatchamacallit. Some days it's hard to get rid of a bomb.
All right. Well, I don't have any quote, but let me see. I can't.
The shark repellent.
That's
thing,
funny. Actually, didn't we just talked about him last time too? Didn't the first Batman movie also kind of have that reference?
Yeah, the Batman movie was really
hilarious.
Whatever camp was in the television series, they really went wild in the movie. That movie
for Canary,
itself,
Catwoman.
It was but anyway, but I didn't want to take the momentum from what you were talking about, because I literally jumped in.
No, not at all. I mean, all of it's just interesting. That's the character's evolution over time, and I think we were talking about that old adage, you live long enough, every hero lives long enough to eventually see themselves become a villain.
Oh my God!
Right?
Is this
I find it interesting. Actually, kind of crazy how true that becomes over time, particularly in media. But talking about Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom is an interesting spin, because I know with all the Disney buying up all the intellectual properties over the time, right, with Fox, and basically we don't have X-Men anymore. Right.
I mean, we don't have the Fox X-Men.
Correct. And I think Deadpool kind of referenced that as well.
They didn't reference that. Was the whole point of the movie.
No, that's true. His whole thing is references. I understand that. But I'm finding it interesting, over time, depending on how you want to tell the story, with where Spider-Man lands in the Venomverse now, right, and no longer the Sonyverse, I guess, right, and bringing him back into Marvel, I think they were trying to have Robert Downey Jr. kind of have that interaction with a potential Peter Parker if he was ever to come back to the MCU, right? So,
I think whatchamacallit. It's something I was trying to think of that's interesting that they can get away with. Because the one thing that I like with the Marvel stuff that I think, because some people are, and I would agree, if you guys agree, Marvel hasn't been doing as well as it did up until from maybe the first Iron Man up into the Endgame. There was a certain time when Marvel was dominating, and it's still making that money.
Yeah.
But it's more it's not hitting the same way it used to, and that's understandable. That happens when you have a lot of money, right? But there's something that's interesting to me that I like about it now is that there's so many Marvel movies, so many Marvel properties, because it's not just the Marvel movies, there's the Marvel series, Disney Plus series now, things like that. That the cinematic stuff is now feeling like the movies. I mean, the cinematic stuff is now feeling like the comics, right? Where maybe you don't know it, but you can pick up an issue here, and you don't know everything about the issue or the character, but I'm just interested in this character, so I'm curious to watch it. And now there's so much retconning even in the movies, and so much timey-wimey stuff even in the movies. Retconning is something that happens when if you read a comic and let's say they make a couple of fundamental changes throughout the years. Retconning is essentially what they do is like they'll confirm those changes. It could be producer changes, it could be script changes, it could be something in the actual writing, but then they'll work those changes into the story itself.
Essentially the job of the TVA, both as introduced into the Marvel Universe.
TVA is Time Variance Authority, Loki.
Right. He gave you acronyms. My mistake. I'm sorry.
I know nothing.
So upset. Let me, before you do, Trey, wait. Let me, all right, how about this? I will do this. Dad, do you remember the Batman comic with Jason Todd? Jason,
yeah,
all right. Do you remember how like there was a very big thing where like Jason Todd the Robin was voted away? Like he wasn't Jason Todd is one of the Robins who died. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do remember.
Yeah, and the people voted him off because they were just like, this is just a production comic thing. Like this was like, do you like this Robin? No, all kind of stuff. So they just the DC at the time just asked the fans if they like this Robin, and they said no. So then they just voted him away, and then they didn't have Robin anymore, right? But then later on, people came back with a story and talked about how that Robin died, and that is considered retconning because like the actual voting was just a random thing that the company did, but then making it work to the story is how they blend in, and that's the term is called retcon, like retcon. Yeah,
that's the equivalent of television jumping the shark.
Yes.
Yes.
We got
it. You see, jumping the shark came from the episode when Fonzie jumped over a shark that was inside of the lake or something in the pool, and people thought that to be the time when Happy Days really lost all of its momentum. Thank you from an old guy.
That's funny. No, speaking of, I never understood why Jason Todd actually, like, I understand he was traumatized by the Joker, so he took on the moniker Red Hood, right? But he should have also just came back as the Crow.
What? I'm mad. I missed it.
You missed it?
What happened?
I made a pun and you missed it? That's painful.
No, I got so upset because I don't like the Crow as a character.
I understand.
No,
just in real time, I'm letting people know I have no idea what's going on.
Okay.
These guys, they just talk over my head sometimes.
Apologies.
Just letting you know.
Okay.
But it's okay. But if you understand what they're saying and you're liking and subscribing, because these guys are so smart, I have to pretend that I know what's going on. I nod my head and go,
okay. Trey, you know what's upsetting about it? It was a low bar.
Stop it. Okay. So let's explain the joke a little bit. All right. So as we talked just a few seconds ago, we understand that Jason Todd was voted off by the community, right? His way of going out was shown, again, beautifully in the animation of Under
the Red Hood.
Under the Red Hood. Thank you very much. But in the comic books, his death was by the hands of the Joker, by crowbar and bomb. More specifically, by crowbar. He was in a warehouse, couldn't be found by Batman for some time.
I remember that episode, actually.
Oh, fantastic. Okay. Fantastic. Okay, so when I make the reference of him coming back as a crow, because all the Robins are more or less bird-themed. We have Robin, Nightwing, Drake, right, which is a duck, right? He could have came back as a crow, noting the crowbar, right? But that was just a bad pun.
I'm only upset because the Crow, we also know the Crow is a superhero.
Yes, that's correct.
And I just don't like that superhero. It's a very edgy superhero. Like Batman's a very edgy superhero, but this is like a very like teen angst, edgy superhero.
Which would have fit right in the line of where Jason was.
Okay, let me just have a parent moment for the people in the camera. This is what happens when you get like real smart kids and they're talking over your head and they got video games that you don't know how to play. You almost feel like this part of a mechanism that doesn't work anymore. You don't need it anymore because it's like, I'm just watching this.
That's not,
No, I'm just telling you how
you know what we're talking about.
I know-ish what you're talking about, but I just wanted I just wanted to put that parental moment. This was for us people that don't understand. Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right. Well, what we'll do
it's okay.
No. But what we'll do is because we got back off topic. We literally did this whole episode to talk more about Robert Downey Jr.
You're absolutely
we went right back to Batman, so we gotta stop.
Yeah, we have to stop. We're stopping right now.
Robert Downey. But let's talk. Here's another thing because outside of the announcement and like again because everyone knows how this works now. You know, this is not going to. The announcement of Robert Downey Jr. by the time this episode comes out is going to be kind of old news.
Oh wow,
but
that's interesting. Yeah,
I think there's going to be a lot more stuff with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, a whole bunch of things that we can talk about. So I think a nice little shift or thing that kind of hits the whole characters of the ages is just also talking about what I mentioned earlier. Are who do you think are good adaptations of characters, like actors' adaptations? Because, like you said, Robert Downey Jr. does a really good job.
Yes, he
does. But I'm trying to think of, or even better yet, Samuel Jackson's Nick Fury is
phenomenal.
He's phenomenal. You know what I mean?
Well, actually, if you want to look at it, it was Marvel Comics
Right.
Samuel Jackson.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Which is my favorite, I almost like Gambit, or like they're like not the characters, sorry, like that was a bad time to use that word.
It's fine.
It's my favorite kind of move that Marvel did, because that was just wishful thinking. Like they literally just made a comic and they made a Nick Fury that happened to look like Samuel Jackson. Because one of the things that they said before they even knew they were going to do the movies thing, were like, if it'd be great if Samuel Jackson could play Nick Fury, but someone just wanted it. Like someone just thought about it, because Samuel Jackson had no idea. I'm not sure how this works with like identity laws and stuff like that, but like they just had a character that was Nick Fury, who happened to look like him, and then years down the line, after the Iron Man stuff, he became unpopular and he wanted to play it. But that's just, to me, that's just the dream, to be like, yeah, we got him.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, he's absolutely, there is no other Nick Fury but Samuel Jackson.
But what are some characters or people that we think are like, what you say, are like pulled from the comics? You know what I mean? Like, because not all actors hit the mark. You know what I mean?
Well, unfortunately, and posthumously, we speak of Christopher Reeves, who was absolutely Superman. And so far as I was concerned, now, George Reeves, who was Superman on television, had a version of Superman, but he was a little bit more harder edged to me. But Christopher Reeves, was actually the iconic character of Superman that he played. The good thing about it was that when you saw him as Superman, he embodied everything.
Right.
The bad thing was, as an actor, any other thing you saw him after that, all you could see was Clark Kent.
Right.
Well, that's the thing too, because I was like, it's funny because I don't think we've had Superman movies and Superman media, I think for people is actually hard to do a lot of times. We have a new animated series that's called My Adventure with Superman. It's on HBO Max if you want to watch it. But that's a little more lighthearted. But I think a lot of people have a hard time doing Superman because he's such a powerful dude. The dude can like move planets if you get in the comics and all that kind of jazz. But like, how do you give that kind of character a foil? And then also a lot of people, and this is, I don't really care how people feel about this one. I don't like Zack Snyder as a director.
But we love, what you call it? Actually, why can't I think of names today? Who played Superman in Man of Steel?
Who played Superman in Man of Steel? Oh, Henry Cavill.
Thank you. I was blanking on the name.
But he did an okay job, which I think Henry Cavill is a good actor, and I think he could have done a better job if it wasn't Zack Snyder directing. Because they try to
That's what I'm saying.
Because they try to make Superman a little more edgy. The whole Zack Snyder Justice League, everything was supposed to be a little darker, and Superman's just not a dark character. There's I'm sorry, this is a very old movie. Not very old. It's an old movie at this point. There's the Superman, Man of Steel, Zack Snyder thing, and I've made this comment a couple of times. There's a scene in the movie where Henry Cavill's Superman is trying to stop Zod, because Zod is trying to laser vision a family, right? And there's like, and he's like doing laser vision stuff, and like the family's like hiding in a corner. There's a couple things that I don't like about this one. One, he's like, the laser's coming this way, and then he's got the family, got the kids, and they're like, I don't care how strong you are. The only way you're going to stop me is you kill me. Is essentially the whole thing, right? And Superman doesn't kill. He's a good guy, right? All kinds of stuff. So the lasers getting in. It's very James Bondy. The family's in the corner,
like going by way of death.
And there's a couple things that bother me about this. One, the family could have ducked. I get.
That's true.
I get they're stressed, so I give them a pass, but they could have ducked. It's a line.
Right.
That's fine. Right. But another thing that bothers me is that there's like, the only way you can stop me, and so then Superman snaps Zod's neck, which is like, Superman would never kill him, try to find a way. Right. And then the last thing is, Superman can fly. Go up. Sorry, it bothers me so much.
I see, you're very passionate about that.
Because it's like they try to force the character, like, this is a series you have to make, and like you have to make these kind of decisions, and I get it. But there's two things. One, if you're going to do that to a character, make it make sense, because Superman can fly, and just forgetting about that at that time is dumb.
Another one, if you want to have a fourth option, he could have simply covered Zod's eyes.
Yeah.
Right? Because of the fact that we already know that even though it hurts, yes, it burns, it would have stopped it. So
there's just a lot of that just
I love the passion that you guys have for that scene. That I can see you actually physically carrying it.
So many I understand. Like, in a world where, like, the dark
in a world.
In a world when the Dark Knight was basically the predominant thing that kind of led the DC franchise for a while. Right. Everything would kind of like follow that tone, right? At one point in time, we talked about Green Lantern, but we never want to talk about it again, right? But at the same time, in fitting Superman into that world, right, we try to fit the mood to be something similar, right? So all the buildings were being destroyed. And even though, yes, there's a lot of calamity in Metropolis because of all the aliens that come down to try to stop Superman, right? But you don't really see a lot of Metropolis destruction in comic books because Superman does such a good job protecting it.
Because Superman cares about property damage.
Exactly. Right, but you see them flying through buildings. Things are literally coming down. Like no one has ever thought. Like even Brainiac bottling like a whole civilization has not done as much damage as Superman has done in that movie.
Can I say something too? I know I'm just budging in here. I had fun with Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds. I know it wasn't,
it's fine.
Yeah.
I liked it. Here's the thing.
It was a passing grade. Don't get me wrong.
That's great. I mean, but people talk so poorly about it.
I don't know.
I enjoyed it.
I'm not hating on it. We're all nerds. At least I consider myself very much a superhero nerd. So like even if I don't like me and we all kind of sometimes we know we'll go into movies that we may not like, but we all watch it anyway. Just to
watch it anyway.
No matter what, I can't get tired of someone just throw a fireball.
I am a diehard Flash fan. I had to watch the movie. Did I love it?
Yeah, I got you.
But I watched it. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. But nevertheless, I will still rep the Flash. That's the problem.
Can I do another
rep the Flash?
Can I do another quick rant?
So Flash,
yo, Speed Force.
You guys had that's funny. Speed Force. That's whatchamacallit. You guys had you had a moment where you went all about like New York City, almost like congestion, not pricing, but you were into New York City and you had a park. You had your rant.
Yes.
And then you had your rant about traffic.
Yeah. Right.
This is a small rant because we're already mid-episode.
Okay,
but another rant that has superhero related. In the Avengers Endgame, I think I may have talked about this on the podcast before. Something bothers me, and I can't let it go.
Go for it.
In the Avengers Endgame, there's a scene, and you guys, this is like the big final showdown fight kind of thing.
Right.
This is after whatchamacallit. We think Thanos was about to win.
You saw it.
No, I've been seeing this. No, I'm not sure what you're talking about. But whatchamacallit, Captain America like straps his half broken shield on his arm because he's about to fight Thanos and all of Thanos' army. And he's only one there, and then. Right in the last second, he hears his communicator and goes, "Avengers, assemble!" And next, all the we all know that kind of
scene, iconic scene.
Right. So when in this battle, in this big great battle of all these things, what is Thanos' whole thing? His whole thing is he has the Infinity Gauntlet. He's going to make everything disappear. His whole thing, destroy everything. Right. We all know it's the plot for two movies. For two movies, that's what Thanos is trying to do.
Okay.
At some point, Scarlet Witch, we know who that character is, starts lifting Thanos up in the air, and he goes, "Fire the missiles!" And then one of the guards on Thanos' ships goes, "Sir, what about the troops?" That bothers me so much.
Okay.
You want me to explain why?
Please.
Because this man works for Thanos. Thanos is known as a mad titan. Everyone's working for them. They know the thing. And he's like, "Oh no, if you shoot your missiles down here, your troops will die too." He knows that. Thanos' whole thing is I'm going to wipe out the whole universe, everything. Right. And that means that guy now, at the point, is just getting on the picture. That bothers me so much. It's so dumb. And it's not like it's a movie thing. Who is this man? Who is this dude who just figured out, oh, am I one of the bad guys? It's so stupid.
Okay, all right.
It's just...
breathe. You okay?
So,
you okay?
What do you mean, what about the troops? You're going to go... That's what you're fighting for. You're fighting to... It's just like the dude from Ted from Accounting just got off the ship and was just like, "Oh, we all fighting now?" I didn't know. Like he's
all right.
Maybe he was one of the guys on Thanos' ship that didn't read his email.
That's what I'm trying to say.
A lot of people only read emails. And like, what's happening today? That kind of thing.
Oh, the end of the world is today? Oh my God, I forgot. I didn't pack my things. I didn't.
When I paid my cable bill, I shouldn't have done that.
He's so late to the picture. I'm so sorry.
That's pretty funny.
I just recently saw a clip on Facebook kind of explaining that there was one dumb move that Iron Man did in fact do in attempting to stop Thanos from basically destroying the everything.
Yeah.
All right. In which case, they actually managed to get the gauntlet with the Infinity Stones off of him for like a quick second, right? Mm-hmm. But instead of trying to grab that object, they jumped on Thanos' back and tried to hold him down even more, right? As opposed to getting the gauntlet away from him and actually utilizing the thing. Mm-hmm. So I just thought you were referencing that as opposed to, what about the troops? Which is actually
that's
more hilarious.
Yeah. That's my favorite thing.
Well, if we're going to go down that lane, I've always been amazed with henchmen.
Oh.
You know, and where they come from.
You're not talking
Like, in
about
other
Minions,
words,
are you?
huh?
You're not talking about Minions, are you?
Well, not minions. Well, I guess they would be minions, but the henchmen, what are they called?
You're talking about goons?
Goons, yeah.
Goons?
People,
Those who hinge.
those who work for bad guys. Like,
Okay.
and you know, what's some of the big? Is
Riddler.
it AIM?
No. AIM is good.
AIM is
AIM.
good. AIM is one.
But AIM
What's-
is like science. Like,
okay.
yeah.
Give me another one. What's another one
You're
that's
just-
who's the opposite of a good group? But they have like millions of
Hydra.
employees.
Hydra.
Millions of employees.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how do you tell your family that I got a job working for Hydra? I mean, it's like, because a lot of these people are, when you see they all wearing the same outfit.
So everyone, I want you to remember that previous to this, we were talking about a thing called Project 2025. I'm just
what are you doing?
No, I already know what he's doing. He's doing because here's the thing with Hydra, and a lot of the stuff with Hydra is like a super secret organization run from the government, so you can kind of get away with it.
But you can't be that super secret if you got that many employees. I mean, they keep coming. It's like thousands and thousands of employees.
Well, here's the thing.
Wearing the same outfit. Because there's got to be somebody making your uniforms.
Wait,
you got to go. Where's the Hydra uniform?
Can I get?
You got to get fitted.
I'm gonna get a little real, so it's gonna get a little scary. It's gonna
Okay,
get a little
all right,
scary.
get real,
But
get
this
real.
does bother me. This is a real thing. This
real
is
thing,
two
go
real
for it.
things.
Do it up.
The KKK has an answer machine.
Okay.
There's a voice. That means someone leaves. Someone has to work for the KKK and
leave
a voicemail. Like there's like a voicemail go to. And another thing is the KKK sometimes does representation. They have flyers. There's someone on the KKK doing graphic design.
So I mean,
That means there's someone in the KKK being like, "Did I leave enough white space?" And that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Wow.
that's very
But that's
good.
a real
That's
thing.
very good.
That's true.
Right.
They sell merch.
The very fact
It's
that
called
they
the
even,
KKK march.
Merch.
Right.
KKK.
I'm sorry.
But I guess evil organizations do have to have some type of. It's an evil organization. So
you'll never find
the
the KKK in the black market. Is what
Oh,
you're telling me.
oh my goodness! So you have to have some organization in these different things. So yeah, but I always thought that it was interesting that there would be people who are willing, who are not necessarily far up the chain, being next to the evil supervillain, but they'd be willing to give their lives, march for it. I mean,
Right.
because there's got to be some normalcy in their regular lives.
It's all about PR, I imagine, right?
What's the
So
pitch?
it's a pitch would be like, hey, do you want a better, I don't know, America? And then you would have to just say like, we have a whole troop for that.
See?
Trump acts there.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. See, we're
that's
getting
true.
real with this.
That's what
Like,
I'm
you got
saying.
people who do it.
That's true.
Because not everyone even is, because we could talk
Well,
about
not
JD
Trump
Vance.
anymore because of the fact that
Yeah, right.
I think his crowd size is now dwindling. So I guess his PR.
Oh
group
wait, a
is
minute, we got to talk in the future.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
we have
no,
to-
I'm
Oh, Kamala did it.
Yay!
Maybe.
Good job. Congratulations, Kamala.
Other side.
I
I'm
can't
so
believe it.
disappointed. This
Can't
is
believe it,
ridiculous.
guys. This is gonna be crazy.
This is
Guys,
crazy.
watch yourself.
Holy
Watch
cow.
yourself.
I am bereft.
Well, let's go back up again. She won.
It's the future, guys. It's the future's living now.
The future is now.
Okay.
It's amazing.
If you're just new to this site, we
About this time this episode releases,
right, yeah,
the election may have happened.
it may have happened.
If you like our predictive excitement, please
Yeah.
like, share,
and subscribe.
subscribe.
You heard it
comment
here
below.
first.
You heard it here first, possibly.
Right, so anyway, but yeah, so being a supervillain henchman,
Yeah.
is very interesting because there's got to be like, how do you find out? Is there
so
like
good.
is there one ad? What do you put in the one ads if you're looking for henchmen?
You know what's funny?
Or is it like a networking word of mouth type thing?
I think like when you said AIM, we were getting. I'm not sure. Is that Deep Cut Comics? I don't know. AIM is like a very general like bad guy group in Marvel, right?
Right.
So again, but they're like science-y, like there's a big corporation kind of thing.
Right.
So maybe money. That one I get. Then you get like even Hydra. That's like supposed to be secret government. So maybe you're working like you could be working for the government. But I want to get the thing I don't get is like the dudes who work for the Riddler. Because that's got to be the most annoying thing. Because like even his whole thing is like how do you put in your resume like what like the riddle you have to answer a riddle just to get the job or but and also Riddler's whole thing is like making giant machine
Right.
things and that's just you have to have an experience at least in construction.
Well, here's the thing about that. A lot of these supervillains, right from the beginning, they've got to be billionaires in the first place.
Right.
Because it's like they're designing these machines and they're coming out of the sky and they got all this stuff and implementations and operating systems and people that have worked and this and the other. And they say, well, what's your goal? I want to make lots of money. It's like, but
You have it.
you already have it. Why not just,
Yeah.
invest it? Why do you need to take over the world? You've got enough money to just
this is the reason why writing a villain is so important, and writing in general is just so important to me because, like, I feel as if regarding, like, well, technically, again, the Trump administration already approved that Hydra can work, but with things like AIM, or the things like even Kingpin. Right, you could see how, like, even though, like, you have megalomaniacal villain running the whole scheme, but there's a reason why they're kind of keeping an order in the city, right? AIM, I feel as if was probably literally just advancements in mechanics, right? And people with big brains said, "Hey, I want to work here because you guys are doing great things for the world." And then you have the main people in AIM, like the CEO. Probably saying, "Look, I want to take down Iron Man and everything he believes in," in which case it becomes kind of like derailed, saying invest all your money in intellectual property into taking down superheroes because they are a threat. They are a threat to me. They're a threat to my pride. They're a threat to my ego.
Well, that's Lutherish. Now you're getting to in terms of like what Luther would do, where it's just branding.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. It comes down to like, when in dealing with the modern day man and their beliefs, would superheroes become a threat to you in your everyday life? Would you join in a villain's organization if you think that superheroes are literally a threat to society?
Well, here's another thing, and this is actually probably how you get some goons, and I could make this kind of real. Like if Superman, because there's a whole 4 minutes. We'll do this quick then, because there's a whole show called The Boys and talk about like superheroes in real, and we'll get to that. But I'm not even going to go that dark. Let's say superheroes are as advertised, right? So you get Superman in our real world, and Superman's doing this thing, and he's trying to fight a giant monster. And Superman is a nice guy, tries to avoid he's going to hit, but Superman has been known to pick up a car or two and hurl it.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like that would make you a goon pretty quickly. Like I would feel like if like like a giant monster's coming, yeah, thank you Superman for saving my house, but also that was my car.
That was my car. Yeah.
I don't have insurance for Superman hurling. I don't know. Like you're like, wait, no, Superman. And then what if he misses? You know how upset you would be if you're like, you don't even kill him, you don't even take him out.
Quite literally, I don't believe any insurance coverage covers acts of God, right? And quite literally, Superman has always been written up to be godlike. So if he just said, "I'm going to turn back time,"
Listen. I need to go back to our audience here. But listen, this has been Various Fields, everybody. We have been very passionate about the very nerdville that we've been going into in reference to comics and stuff. And we hope that you've enjoyed listening to us and we talk about many other things. But this has been a passionate conversation about the comics and movies and stuff like that. So if you have any passions that are similar, please comment on it, because we want you to be a part of this conversation as well.
We do want you to be a part of this conversation.
We do. We got to be part of this. We would love to know what you think of any of what we are saying.
I forgot a little bit. There's a camera here, guys.
There's a camera here. So we always enjoy it, and we want to say thanks again to Nels just being here and doing all the things that he does.
Who is our local superhero.
He is
super
our
cinematographer now.
Give him a hand, please. Can we give him one of those things? That's right. We're so very glad to have him here. But anyway, that's it for today. So we thank you so much all for being here at Various Fields. And we hope to see you on next time. And we'll see you next week. Absolutely. I love you guys.
Love you. Love you all.
Till the next time.
Like
and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Bye.